going to look at tapotment, and the three movements that make up this percussive movement. Requires coordination and a certain amount of care because it's quite impact heavy. There are two ways of doing your first move, which is called hacking. Hacking is striking with the side of your hand, and with your fingers open, the fingers come together as you hit the surface, hit the tissues. So I'm using the side of my hand to produce a vibration in the tissues. And then when I've got the technique sorted out, which is keeping your arms in, only moving by lifting the hand up and letting it fall onto the leg. So you're sort of waving at each hand, and then you can pick the speed up. I've got a squat stance, and I can work over any of the tissues in any direction. I can use a lighter version, which is just fingertips, which allows me a little bit more control. So if I was working in a very small area, this would be much easier. So that's hacking, striking with the side of the hand, bringing the fingers together. The second of the techniques is called cupping. Cupping, I'm only striking with the fingertips, the side of my little finger, and I'm making this gap which traps air. As my hand falls, it pushes the air out so that when I bring my hand back up again, it serves to pull the circulation towards the surface. Again, I'm keeping my arms in, I've got my squat stance, I'm lifting from the elbow and letting the hand fall loosely and lightly onto the tissues. And then I'm alternating that. And what I've got is a very deep sound. That's when you've got the air inside. If it's a high-pitched sound, you haven't managed to trap the air, and it's important that you do. So cupping the fingers, making a real arch with the hand, creates that very deep sound. And that's the second technique, cupping. Slightly heavier than the first technique. And then our final technique is the heaviest of all of them, and that's called beating. I'm going to be striking this time with the flat of my knuckles and the heel of my hand, and I've got a small air gap. Again, lifting my elbows, letting my hand fall lightly onto the tissues, and then you can speed that one up. So I've got three techniques: hacking, side of the hand strike, cupping, and beating. Beating being the heaviest of the techniques. Now you've seen the three techniques, what we'd like you to do is to film a short clip of you practicing those techniques. We'd prefer to see you practicing them on the front of the leg, but you can also practice them on the calf muscles or the backs of the arms.